Hey guys, making a little video real quick here. It's been a while since I've made anything. I'm not like a YouTuber or anything. I got busy, and when I had the COVID stuff going on, and we were working, pretty relaxed schedules, I had more time. But anyways, talking about the Bristol race being dirt, I'm just gonna be straight up. Like, I guess I don't really consider myself an old school NASCAR fan. I started watching like the mid '90s. There's guys I know that have been doing watching a lot longer, but I guess when it's all said and done, if it's an all-star race or an exhibition race on dirt, that's fine. But taking away a points paying race, um, to be put on at Bristol, in my opinion, is just, makes no sense at all. I mean, the biggest thing is that, like, for one, right? And I know dirt car fields, I guess, are pretty big, but it's a pretty big field. There's about 40 cars. Um, there were a lot of damaged vehicles. I, I don't like racing where it's like, you know, I get it. It's racing. Some things are out of your control. You can't always control where a car spins in front of you or whatever, but I feel like at Bristol it was a little to the extreme. Like to deal with it just seemed like watching a truck race and a cup race, like when guys would wreck, like dudes weren't slowing down as good. I don't know if spotters couldn't see the cars. It's like the whole Nemechek and Derek Kraus deal. you know, I I just felt like it was a lot of damaged vehicles, a lot of chaos and accidents, and you know, I, I get it. Dirt's bumping and banging, but I don't know. It just seemed like, especially in the cup race, like it was kind of hard to just pass the guy clean at all, like without basically like using eight wheels are better than four type of mentality, and I don't like that. It's cool to see them lean on each other, but you shouldn't have to do that all the time. And I felt like a lot of the passes, unless you were going up on the high side or something on a restart, it's kind of hard to get out clean. But anyways, I didn't like it. People. I'm not big on. I don't really care about lead changes, but there was only like five lead changes in the cup race. I think I read somewhere. Um, I feel like this is all catering to like the younger fans who like can't like don't have an attention span. Like the fans that don't remember when a lot of races used to be 500 miles, like Pocono. You know what I mean? Um, so I think again, it's another thing where you have a clear division of fans that even of all people, even Bob Parkris, like you could kind of tell he was like, "Nah, I don't like this," and I think there's a lot of fans that do like it. Unfortunately, you're hearing some, and it's just not real NASCAR to me. Like I don't get it. Like I was never a fan of the trucks on it, and my driver finished fourth. Like I should be really happy. Todd Gilliland, hey, you finished fourth, great, good for you. And then my other driver, Michael McDowell, finished 12th, which is great. Anthony Alfredo finished 38th, but I'm not too emotionally invested in him yet. So I should be really happy, but I don't want to. I don't want to take away a Bristol asphalt race for this. You know, um, Yes, has Bristol not produced the best racing in the past X, Y, and Z amount of years? Yes, they have not produced the best racing. Have they produced some good racing at times? Yes. Do they need to do something to bring back the old Bristol track? In my opinion, yes. I used to like the bump and run. I was okay with the the one lane type of thing where you had to get up underneath somebody and get. I was okay with that. I thought it was great racing. I think that um now they use the PJ1 and everything else, so I think that the track needs to be re-diamonded and and regrooved and everything else to get it the old way it was that people always keep talking about. I think that they need to spend the damn money to push out the freaking safer barrier wall so the exits off the turns don't pinch you down. I think that those are things that would make the asphalt Bristol better. And no one wants to talk about that. That gets forgotten about, whatever. But, no one held these track owners accountable when it came to the safer barriers and all that stuff years ago. And all they did was hurt the racing surface. They just narrowed up the track. I mean, think about it. A track's designed for when you come off a corner. You know what I mean? Like it's like construction work. Like you have to slow down and turn sooner. Like it's. Anyways, I'm sorry. That's a tangent. I'll get off that. But whatever. Yeah. I like what Bob Proctor said. Like, hey, bring back I guess they're called like not super late models, but dirt late models or whatever. You know, I'm personally okay with them going to a local podunk town dirt track with like a late model that only costs, I don't know how much a late model costs, but I'm sure it costs a little bit less than a stock car. Just put them in that. Let them drive that. They don't need to have stock cars. I mean, and that's another thing too. Like if we want to start getting technical and everything else with the what makes up a stock car, I mean that's supposed to be the big narrative nowadays with the next gen cars. It's supposed to look like a stock car, right? Right, NASCAR, like so. Does that mean you can't do the dirt models then either because it doesn't look like a stock car? So, I mean, I don't know. So I also don't like how they automatically just said, "Hey, we're doing this in 2022" without asking the fans, didn't consult the fans. They don't give a shit. They don't give a damn about us. They're like, whatever, we'll just do it. Steve Phelps and all those other goons, they don't care. They stop, you know, they they stop listening to the fans they should be listening to and listening to these 20 to 25-year-old people on the fan council that just are probably more regularly on social media and things like that. They stopped listening to the guys like me and the older guys that actually had like real, common sense ideas for the sport a long time ago. So unfortunately, yes, they're listening to fans, but they're listening to a lot of the wrong type of fans, in my opinion, with a lot of things. So I'm sure all their, 20 to 25-year-olds with attention spans the size of an ant will get on the fan council and everything else and vote that this was the best race ever take place in NASCAR history. Richard Petty made a comment, he thinks it's unprofessional. I've always had my opinions about dirt, right? I've been watching NASCAR since I was a kid, like early mid 90s, a long time. And I'll be honest with you, I feel like I grew up in a very redneck area, very country area in Southern Virginia. And I felt like my grandpa, he used to be a moonshiner with Wendell Scott. We would go to dirt races and my grandpa would look at me and he'd say, "Son, there's a certain type of caliber of people that go dirt races." And I personally, and a lot of dirt races around my area, I can't speak for everywhere else, it was trailer park trash. It was rednecks. Now, in the areas that I feel like I grew up at, it was rednecks. It was a bottom of the barrel people. And yes, NASCAR, to Richard Petty's point, was a more prestige, now I am not saying that you don't get the same type of BS fans that you get at dirt track. But as far as the stigma I think Richard Petty's referring to, which is people at dirt races in the past would just run the hell over everybody. And I mean, literally, like the ones I used, like Natural Bridge in Virginia. Like they would just fly off into the woods in the turns and literally like come out with like sticks and crap on their cars, and like people would just keep racing. There was no yellow flags. There was no, you know, safety was not there. Like it was just it was pretty ridiculous. Guys would be like jumping to restart by like, 2 turns, man. Like it was stupid. Like it was that's why I stopped going to dirt, because there was no rules or laws or anything. It was just, hey, go, go, go. And I, I one of the issues is I still feel, I think that way deep down. Like I still feel like that's how dirt racing is. Um, I just, I guess, haven't given it much chance. Like every dirt race I remember going to as a kid, they were just constantly raking. It was like boom, 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 boom. Like there was no long, and I know that's not how dirt racing is. I know it's not, but you know, I think that there's still some of that out there. There's got to be. I still think there's those areas out there. So, I think that's my issue. And I think that's some of the fans' issues is they just, they look at dirt racing as that. They still remember dirt racing being like this, you know, idiot rednecks out there, half drunk or whatever, just like plowing into people and everything else. But so I don't like it, but whatever. They're going to keep doing it. The trucks are going to Knoxville again this year, so that ought to be whatever. Um, I, you know, I feel like maybe if they could make the cup cards a little more like, and again, though, this gets into the whole cost saving thing, a little more suspension or dirt track friendly, to where they actually kind of just their stance and their pitch in the turns looked more like a dirt car, like that high, like, I, I think it would, to me, they just look slow. They look stupid and they look slow. And I guess dirt cars at some point do kind of straighten out as the track rubbers in, but I mean, they essentially look like they're just going on a normal asphalt track slowly. Like, yeah, they're yawed out a little bit, but not really. Like, if you watched the Cup and the Truck race, at some point, they basically just turned into a circle track. I mean, in my opinion, that's what it looked like. It looked like they were just, pretty much, you know, on rails with a little bit of, wiggle wobble, but not very much. So, I don't know. And, hey, this is NASCAR, man. Like, I think they should do live pit stops. I'm sorry, I do. I think they should do live pit stops. I think that they should still do those. I mean, I think that would help me feel like this is more of a NASCAR race. Like I don't like the top series not having live pit. I just think that's, I don't know. Like I feel like they need to make that adjustment. I think they need to kind of, I don't know. It's just when you start talking about radiators getting clogged and everything else and stuff like that, just to me that just reeks like, hey, this isn't supposed to be doing this. Like I don't think that dirt race cars get clogged radiators in like the first 10 laps like Kyle Busch did. I don't know. I mean, I know they probably spray down track too much, and I just I didn't like how the track got so dusty. Like I felt like as a fan, like how could you even watch the race? But I don't know. That's all I got, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm not going to keep going on a banter here, but that's my thoughts about the Bristol Dirt. Let me know what you think. Bye.